Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be here. Long time no see. It's been like 2 whole minutes since I've been live, but welcome back. I'm really excited to get right into day 2 with a brief introduction of some of the things that we've done so far. Excited to see some new people and some familiar faces from Nash Stream, so welcome. If you are just coming in here and getting started, make sure you go ahead and take a look at that check-in link down here. So it's going to let you get more of those sweet, sweet swag points. You can go ahead and grab it right down here. And then we're going to jump in and get started and look at some of the fun things we've got planned for today. Come on, go ahead and... I'm doing some other setup from my last stream. Oopsies. This is kind of craziness, but it's my first time doing a double feature. So it's been kind of chaotic to go straight from one. And then we've got lots of fun things. And then people are saying part 1, part 2, what they watched part 1, part 2 of the personal financial app. Most of the previous one with Cardi, had to take off and get my daughter lunch. Very fair. Got to make sure everybody's fed, that we're taking care of. But first of all, welcome to day 2 of AI ML week. We're off to a strong start so far. I'm excited to hear, like I mentioned, somebody kind of already took my question in the chat from me. But I'd love to hear from you. Did you attend any other workshops? So as you know, I just ran one on GitHub Copilot, Agent ML with GitHub Copilot. That honestly went pretty well, especially like once we got through the end. There was a lot of like nice chatting and conversation to start. But then later, we also ran into some errors, but we were able to get those resolved before the end of the stream, which is kind of the whole point of debugging in computer science and learning together. I also ran a workshop yesterday on building your first ML model. And I'm going to be honest, that one was a little tough, especially at the beginning, until I got my groove. But we eventually figured it out and got it sorted. And we're working through some training and some regression models to hopefully build out a fun, kind of fully fledged application. So I'm really excited to do more with that over the next couple of days. Sad spoiler, but this is going to be my last stream this weekend. But I'll be back on Monday night, my time, around 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm taking the weekend off to get some rest and also to prepare for final exams as I have my students and my last week of classes this week. So I've got to write a final exam for kids. But I'm going to jump in and first of all, introduce myself. What for day 2? Stay tuned. We'll talk all about it. But first, let me talk about myself. Hi, y'all. I'm Kari. I'm a coach here at Major League Hacking. Like I mentioned on the last stream, I've been a coach for almost 3 years now. We're coming up on 3 years in January. I got hired right over the holiday break. So it's been almost 3 years of lots of fun and live streams and exciting things going on all at once. So it's been a great time. Fun fact about me. Is like I mentioned, I am an airport aficionado. I have a slideshow of every single airport I've been to in the last 12 years now. And so it talks about some of my positive and negative and in-between experiences at all of those airports and gives you a good vibe, a check of kind of what they are like and what they feel like and what they look like. So keep that in mind as you go through. Or, if you've got airport takes, let me know. That's kind of my personal passion project. I've been working on it. I keep it updated every time I go to a new airport, and it's always the highlight of like a fun new trip. First of all, like I mentioned, I'd love to hear some of the other workshops that you all attended and how yesterday went. We've had a jam-packed 24 hours full of workshops and content and fun streams. So I'm excited to hear a little bit more about some of the other things that we have planned for today, or some of the things that you found fun in the last day. But I'm going to give you a brief overview of some of the things that I found out that we did in the last 24 hours. First of all, we started with working on some context-aware of AI agents with Auth0. which was really fun. We had one of our senior developer advocates over at Auth0, one of the senior developer advocates over at Auth0, get a chance to kind of talk about some of the things that they're working with, and talking through some of the information and cool features and tools that they've got implemented for hackers to add into their projects, which is always awesome. And then we also got started with the Solus Agent Mesh. So we got a chance to take a look, like we mentioned, one of the members over at Solus who got a chance to introduce us to some of the cool things that they are working on with in their tools and technologies, which is always fun. We also went ahead and hung out with Cecilia and explored Figma Dev Mode, which was super fun. Cecilia's great. Always has a great time running some awesome Global Hack Week streams. And so that's really fun. And Figma is one of my favorite workshops to run. We've had it for quite a while now, and we've also had a great time kind of working through it and tweaking it, adding to it, seeing all the new features that Figma's developing. So I'm sure Cecilia did great with it. Oh, look at that. It's me. We started working on our first machine learning model. So we worked through, like I mentioned, and created an initial repository for training some student data. In other words, we're going to determine that based on things like studying and the number of hours of sleep, are students going to fail or pass their classes for the semester? Obviously, it's anonymized data. It's third party. But I thought it'd be fun for this final season featuring yours truly to see what we can figure out there. And then we've got benchmarking multiple LLMs with Jocelyn. So Jocelyn ran this super fun Streamlit stream where she created some like measurements and benchmarks for different large language models, and then was able to create a dashboard comparing those. Super fun stream. I always love seeing the cool things that Jocelyn can do with Streamlit. Jocelyn and I met at a hackathon where I was training her a couple years ago. Oh my God, a couple years ago. It was a year ago, I think. Maybe 2. Oh my goodness, wait, it was 2 years ago. Time flies by so fast. But anyway, we had a great time kind of figuring that live stream out and having a good time with kind of working through all of those. And generally, like, we had Streamlit as a prize category at that workshop, at that hackathon, and I learned so much from her. So it's always fun to see her experimenting around with those tools also on live stream. I love Jocelyn too. I love all of our coaches. That's the thing. I really do. And then, like somebody mentioned, slept through the finance tracker, though. The time difference is crazy. UT, who is an awesome coach, he is based in the UK. And so he is, however, very much renowned for doing double features. So he'll run like 4 hours of live streams back in like right next to each other. And so he does a great job of like making sure that there's time dedicated to like building stuff out. And so if there's any stream that you're going to catch right like through a video or after the fact, I strongly recommend it's his. He also keeps his GitHub updated. So that's a really great resource too for like checking out what he has been working on. Like I know for a fact in the announcements channel, you'll see some of the work he's already done so far. In general, if you're ever looking to figure out the Global Hack Week schedule, you can find ghw.mlh.io/schedule to see exactly what is happening today, right? Which answers are what's happening on day 2 question. As always, though, we're going to go ahead and give you a brief run through of some of the things that are going on today, and we'll continue from there. So first of all, if you missed Cecilia's live stream and you want to come and hang out with another one of our MLH coaches, Jocelyn is doing a Figma to Code Learning Design with Figma Dev Mode workshop right after this stream, right? Yeah, right after this. Or starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time if we end a little bit early. So we're going to go ahead and learn one of the most developer-friendly and professionally utilized design tools in the market, and also get to mess around with Dev Mode with it. In other words, how to take our Figma designs from, like tools and resources and designs into fully fleshed out code snippets to add onto HTML, CSS websites, or even to like add into Android and iOS apps, which is super fun. I always love messing around with this one. And I love Figma Dev Mode. So definitely tune in and say hi to Jocelyn for me. I think it's going to be a really fun one. And then you're like, oh my goodness, Jocelyn again. Yes, Jocelyn again. She's coming back for a double feature of her own, where she is building a RAG system from scratch over at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And so she is going to work through building out some of those tools and resources for you. Like I mentioned, does a great job of making stuff seem beginner friendly. So I think this one's going to be a really fun one to tune into. And then speaking of another double feature coming up, we've got our personal finance trackers, parts 3 and parts 4, all coming up next to each other, 6 a.m. Eastern time for part 3, 8 a.m. Eastern time for part 4. UT is going to go ahead and work through how he's categorizing expenses, spotting trends, and giving simple, potentially, AI-generated insights into some of our finance and planning. I think one, like I mentioned, really cool. If time zones are an issue here, as always, I am going to give a brief plug to our MLH YouTube, where you can watch back all of the VODs from the live streams that we've been running. So that is potentially a good option if you can't make it to one of the live streams we've got planned. And then you'll see Jocelyn again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time or 10:30 p.m. IST in 24 hours or so to get a repeat of day 2, but with Jocelyn. So you'll learn more all about day 3. I am going to super quickly go ahead and plug ghw.mlh.io/challenges. So in case you're not familiar, in case this is your first Global Hack Week, we do have a lot of different options for, there's no break sessions or back-to-back. Yeah, they go, which is fun. But we are going to go ahead and share really quickly. I'm going to share my screen here. I have to remove that. There you go. Cool. So you can see here, if you go to ghw.mlh.io, you can see a list of all of the challenges that we've got, right? So we've got anything from, like sharing your MLH swag, sharing a photo of your hacking setup, following MLH on LinkedIn, linking your My MLH profile, or struggling with Figma or the GitHub Student Developer Pack, setting up your Figma MCP server, trying out Figma Make, right? Or working with Solus here, or Presage, or some of our other partners. Lots of fun, super fun streams coming up. You've also got registrations here already starting for Global Hack Week beginners in January and Global Hack Week data in February. So if you're interested in joining those, definitely stop on by. And then we've also got the swag form and then some of our other featured challenges. And then finally, checking into AI and ML Week. So if you haven't gotten a chance yet to explore this, definitely make sure that you take a chance to look at it. I'm going to paste the link in the chat. But just in case you didn't see it, it is ghw.mlh.io/challenges. So if you're like, I would love to see more of that, that's where you can find them. All right, come on, Twitch, send the message. I'll just paste the YouTube one on here while that Twitch one loads. All righty, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next option. Ooh, demos. So mlh.link/GHW demos. Oh, GHW demo, not demos. There we go. If I can learn how to type. I can't because I typed e-link. GHW demo. Awesome. So if you want to demo your projects at AI/ML Week, that's going to be a great place to go ahead and do that. So you can get ahead and do that at mlh.link/GHW demo, like I just mentioned. This takes you to a brief type form that you can fill out to find out more information about what is coming up. I'm going to also retype that challenges link just because it didn't actually completely send on Twitch. But if you are looking to demo at AI and ML Week, this is your opportunity. And then last but certainly not least, there might be more, but mlh.link/GHW feedback is the form that I just plugged in my most recent stream. This is what lets us kind of know how you are enjoying the streams, whether you're having a fun time, and then continuing from there. Generally, right, keep that in mind for anything that we are, like doing as MLH. if you've got a fun time and you want to, bring us some positive thoughts and love, we always appreciate it. Constructive criticism, especially, right? If you've got something that you would like to see more of, see less of, see change, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And then what is the last date to submit our demo? We are going to be having hackers demo their projects. I believe demos may happen at closing ceremony. So I would definitely fill it out sooner rather than later. Once you've got something that you are interested in, like showcasing, make sure you go ahead and fill it out. I don't know of the exact last date, but I'm assuming there's some prep work involved with like also selecting who gets the demo and similarly. So I would, get it done sooner rather than later. Share your feedback on Figma using this QR code on the link here and stand a chance to win a surprise prize. I can also go ahead and see if I can get the link for that for you. There we go. It's also at mlh.link/Figma survey. Like I mentioned, it's the team over at Figma that is going to help, is looking for feedback from you. And like you mentioned, GamerX, that is the link right there. Phone is dead. I get it. Mine's charging right now. And I lose it also all the time, especially if I'm like locked in on my computer trying to get some stuff done. So that is something worth keeping in mind there. But it is a great opportunity to win a little surprise prize for giving the Figma team some positive or constructive feedback about your experiences with their tools and technologies. Whew. All right. Been lots of talking super duper fast at you. However, if you are interested at this point, we're going to transition into our official Q&A portion. I'm going to stay on, obviously, as we've got questions. If we don't have questions for a couple of minutes, I will end it. Just to make sure that you all can move on and maybe grab a quick break before Jocelyn's double stream feature. Keeping that in mind, because we've got, I think, about an hour until 20 minutes, 30 minutes until we start. So I'm going to jump into questions. If there's, 2 minutes past, 3 minutes past without questions, then we'll go ahead and end it there. But I've already got a couple of good ones in the chat, so we'll start there. Will we receive a certificate of completion after the week ends? You do not receive a certificate of completion, I believe, for anything like in terms of the actual event occurring. What you do, however, receive is like the opportunity to earn swag and other like kind of tools, or the opportunity to earn like fun things and more about and you can learn more about. Okay, sorry. Let me start over. No certificate of completion. However, you do get a chance to earn swag and some other information about, or some other things from Global Hack Week. You will see at ghw.mlh.io/swag more information on how to earn the swag items, which also answers your question. That website also has an FAQ of like frequently asked questions that others may have, right? Like, for example, there's like common questions about shipping timeline for letters, cost, how do you get your swag items. The other important thing to keep in mind is that we do need to have an address for you. But actually one of the challenges is to fill out the MLH address form. So you can go ahead and, I didn't share my screen. Let me do that again. ghw.mlh.io/swag, which is right here, has all of this information about swag and how to earn it, as well as some of our frequently asked questions. Now, if you take a look here at the challenges, right, which is at MLH, right, the challenges tab on top of the Global Hack Week website, there is a challenge that you also have to fill out for your address. We do ship internationally. Most places in the world are able to receive MLH swag for attending, a workshop or generally doing something over on the MLH. Yeah. So you'll see like the instructions there for more swag and more specific details. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me take a quick drink. If you have a lot of copies of one postcard because you've been doing GHWs for over a year, what do you usually suggest we do with them? I've seen a lot of really cool things done with some of the MLH like swag items that we've received. Postcards could be a good idea for like a collage or something similar. I've always also found that like younger hackers are excited to receive some of our like my newer swag items. So like if you've got a friend or somebody who's like excited about getting started or joining, and if you've got a spare postcard, there could be a great person to give it to. Like my love for like GitHub Copilot and the Copilot stickers started with like a random GitHub Copilot sticker, or my love of the GitHub stickers started with a GitHub sticker I received from a friend who had been to like a GitHub summit in like 2017. So you'll see lots of informations, or like that could be a potentially good option, right? Like kind of paying that love forward. It also, encourages them to attend more Global Hack Week events and maybe gets them excited about those and starts their own collection of postcards. So I would say that is a good option there. You could always, use them for kind of anything else that you might need. But I ended up gathering a lot of t-shirts from hackathons when I was traveling around a lot for those. And I remember I had a conversation with like my grandma on making them into like a quilt or like a blanket. So, a paper equivalent of that, maybe like a little paper mache or something similar could be really fun. Swag includes stickers and cards. So there's different levels of swag. There is the basic swag, which includes a sticker pack and a postcard. And then there is bonus swag, which includes all of the extra stickers. There are other swag items you can win throughout, right? So including some of those bonus items and some of the other things that we've mentioned. Those are rarer though. But yeah, exactly. So there's also random swag drops during streams, and things like that can let you win bonus items. The longer you participate, the more of a chance you have to get some of the really fun stuff. So there you go. That hopefully answers your questions there. And thank you for jumping in there as well. Whew, my goodness. All right, now that we're getting to the point where we have to sit a little bit more quietly, just while we wind down for the last couple minutes here. I have to check into all events all days or only 5 events to win swag. You should check into at least 5 to make sure that you can win the bonus swag, and at least 1 to make sure you get any swag at all, in addition to looking at that link there. We don't expect realistically for you to be able to attend every event of Global Hack Week. You have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to do other things. So 5 events for the bonus swag is plenty. What are the points for? The points are for keeping track of like swag winners potentially, and like we mentioned, bonus swag drops. They also create a leaderboard of like Global Hack Week participants, and are used to figure out some of the most active members of our community. So they're a great way to kind of participate in some healthy competition with some of your fellow hackers. How to complete the challenges? You're gonna go to ghw.mlh.io. You're then gonna go to challenges. You will need to sign in with your account. You will be able to then, participate, and then finish each challenge and then receive the corresponding kind of benefits for it. So that's pretty much there. I don't know if we keep track of, I believe we keep track of challenge completion at this point, but I'm not sure. I believe it pulls from your My MLH account. And goes through that. But in general, if you're looking at slash challenges, right? Is the link? Nope. I believe GHW.mlh.io. Trying to keep track of all the things. Yep, there you go. And then ghw.mlh.io/challenges will have more information on how to complete all of those and what are some of the things that you can do there. So I filled the address form last time. Do I have to fill it out again so that it will count as a challenge? You do not have to fill the address form out again in terms of like the accuracy of that. And I don't believe you need to fill it out again in order for it to count as a challenge. I think you should just be able to like link through the form and then make sure you submitted it, and that should count for the challenge as well.
but I'm not 100% sure on that, to be completely honest. It's been a while since I've participated in the challenges myself. So what can we submit as our demo project? Is there any particular theme, and do we have to present it live on the last day? I believe it will be presenting or demoing the project. I don't know if it's live or video or like quick demos or like showcases. To be honest, I haven't been able to catch the closing ceremony since we've started introducing this like demo option. But I can go ahead and I would say post that question in the Discord and like the Ask the GHW channel, and I'm sure somebody with more experience we'll need to do it for that. Like somebody there with more experience on how that portion of it works will have more information there for you. Any particular theme needs to be related to AIML, right? It is Global Hack Week AIML, so I would say that is the only thing that you definitely need to submit, and it ideally should be something you would have worked on while you were here. You worked on thanks to this weekend. Obviously thanks to this week. Obviously it does not have to be created throughout just this weekend, but something from there would be helpful to keep that in mind. So AIML focused, related to workshop content but not required, something fun that you want to show off. Not sure about live presentations or demos of what those look like. Yes, points do restart each time. So they are unique for each Global Hack Week. So you do have to kind of participate every month in order to receive the smart for that month, which hopefully makes sense. What's today's agenda? I'll link it to you. You can see it at ghw.mlh.io/schedule. We're on day 2. And so we've got the following streams coming up. I'll go back. Figma to code, learning to design with Figma Dev Mode, building a RAG system from scratch, AI-powered personal finance tracker part 3, part 4, today in Global Hack Week. So slightly smaller lineup for today, as we are in, now it's Saturday, but, and it's, an exciting thing. So keep that in mind. How do you check your points? Great question. I believe, and if I am correct here, Alrighty, there you go. So now you can check it for Global Hack Week. That's a great question. I think you get, yes, that email. Oh my goodness. Yes, okay. I feel so silly. I'm like, it's been so long and I don't actually receive this daily email. They should come out around like the same time every day. So around like the Today in Global Hack Week time when like the day resets, which is at noon Eastern time, that's usually when you get the emails with the specific drop information. There can be a small delay in some of the challenges, especially if you completed them like immediately before. If you're still having trouble with it, it's always worth it to reach out to like within that email. It should have some of the things there mentioned for like frequently asked questions, or also if you're having any bugs. How to check points on the website. I know about email. I don't know if we have a way to check points on the website right now. My MLH portal is still in beta, so I think that's one of the features that we're currently working on, but don't quote me on that.
Alrighty, I'm gonna see if we've got any more questions. I'll give it another minute. Alrighty, I think this is pretty much it for questions. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you all very much for coming. Make sure you go ahead and give us feedback on your Glow Happy experience over at that link right there I just shared, mlh.link/GHW feedback. Lovely to hang out with y'all. Make sure you join Jocelyn for her stream coming up in about 20 minutes. And I will see you all on Monday. Monday night for me, maybe Tuesday for you. So excited for part 2 of my series. Hopefully it goes better than part 1 yesterday. But I'm excited and happy to see you all as always. See you all in the next one. Bye.